Alright, doing something a little different today. I moved the recording rig to my Hackintosh MacBook Pro laptop so I can try to do these sketches from anywhere. Got some Volume Avenue going on in the background. Some inspiration there. But anyway, yeah, finally figured out how to fine tune, add some plugins to OBS. So we got some nice noise gate and noise suppression stuff. So I think it sounds a little bit better here on the laptop. Not in the main office, a little echoey in there, but you know, I'll probably be doing these sketches kind of just wherever, whether I'm in the office or you know in my bedroom or on the couch here with the laptop. It's not really gonna, yeah, kind of nice to be able to just sort of sketch anywhere. But anyway, let's see where to begin. Always the question. I guess maybe I'll start with like a rhythmic, like a sort of. I was listening to this song the other day that had this really fast pace, really kind of tight rhythm structure to it. And I don't want to obviously recreate that word for word, but you know, it's nice to have a starting point. And sometimes I'll just, you know, walk around town with the headphones on and listen to different things and try to get some inspirations there. And sometimes I'll hear stuff that really stands out and I will, you know, find myself almost trying to recreate it. Usually never ends up sounding anything like what I was listening to, but you know, it's fun to have like an excuse for a starting point anyway. And I think that most of us, at least when we're starting out, spend a lot of time just trying to replicate cool stuff that we hear and love. And that is totally understandable. You got to start somewhere. You got to learn somewhere. I think even the greats like Mozart had to start, you know, were trained and probably copycatted a lot of stuff from their day and time before obviously going off and just doing a whole bunch of original crazy genius type stuff. All right, cool. One funny thing about this particular session too is I have limited the CPU on this laptop down to basically 1% of its full capacity, and I'm also running off of battery, so I've got about it looks like an hour 21 minutes left, and so I've set those as kind of my constraints. And I think sometimes it's really fun to give yourself constraints. I have friends who even do really ridiculous things like roll dice. I guess it's not so ridiculous, you know, in certain academic schools. Like I know John Cage was in that school of thought, you know, using chance or, you know, flipping a coin, or using the I Ching or rolling dice as a means to sort of determine a sense of direction, to give yourself some constraint and guidelines. And I think it's nice to have that sometimes when, you know, you can just kind of go off the deep end and, you know, look out into the infinite void of possibilities and ideas. Obviously, those constraints help narrow things down a little bit. You know, I've done that too before, where I flipped coins or used dice from the old D&D games days, and you know, the old 20-sided dice, you know, came in handy for making some music. But I found myself, you know, deviating from some of those decisions. I don't personally like to have too strict of a dogma or rules. I know, you know, some feel like you know, sometimes it's fun to sort of be strict about it, and I think other times just sort of loose about it. But so anyway, for today's sesh, I just decided to set the constraint being my CPU total amount, which is very limited as of now, and also the running off of battery. Ultimate goal there being to basically just, you know, work with laptops that have been charged by the sun and just kind of have that battery length time to make music every day. I think that would be the ultimate goal, you know, to get off the grid, and just seems kind of like a fun little idea and constraint anyway. So so fascinating stuff happening when we're dragging this attack here. Let me let's automate some of that. Go ahead and off the grid there. Again, my go-to methodology is just, you know, start dragging some knobs, start making a little chaos, getting things a little dirty, just seeing what'll happen. I like that little chirpiness going on in the high end on that with this resonance kind of up, like it almost gives it a wet quality. Something I love about certain filters, just have that sort of liquidy, sloshy kind of thing going on. So yeah. Let's go ahead and automate some of that. It's kind of fun when you can get both, you know, some tonal stuff as well as percussive stuff kind of happening at the same time out of the same instrument. I think what we could use here is triplets maybe, or pitter patter triplets. Turn this thing on every now and then. I'll go ahead and map that on-off switch there. Modulation. Just have it come on every now and then. Obviously, it's easy to watch this video and hear, you know, some kind of really slow moving type of drone sound. Maybe that's a good next step. I also had this dumb idea of what would happen if we took the mic feed and messed around with that. I do really like the vocoder as an effect as a whole. It's just so, there's so much variety and weird nonsense you can get out of it. Of course, classic Kraftwerk or Daft Punk type of sounds, but also, you know, if you have the right carrier coming through, it can also sound just super alien and far out, man. But you know, really far out kind of from the original source. So let's try, I don't know what this will do. It doesn't look like anything's going through. Oh, because we don't really have any carrier. Yeah, so I think level check, 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 check. Yeah, so I think it's just now kind of processing probably most of the Fascinating. Yeah, it's kind of a... Oh yeah, I guess you can sort of hear when I talk. It lets some sounds through. Well, you know, it's kind of strange sounding, I guess. Going to get your own voice in on it. I mean, although this doesn't really sound at all like a voice. I'm curious. Well, I guess noise is... I think because we have this bandwidth down, that's why we're getting so many cool tones. Juicy. Juicy, juicy, juicy. Surprising how much bass there is actually hanging out in there. Not bad. I mean, interesting for some compositional context. Alright, so maybe we can try another layer. Maybe I'll just use the same MIDI clip. I was thinking of something maybe a little more melodic. I'm not even sure what that is going to sound like. Yeah, well, okay, let's see, arpeggiator maybe. On up, down. Thinking this other chord. So repetitive. Needs to be... Let's see, what if we... We could try different scales also. I'm going to try to just make a few different scale options here. we will map. Let's see, where's my map button? Give it to me now. Just right in, hide in plain sight there. Yeah, we obviously gotta modulate this rate here. And I think we can modulate this thing. Scale. Definitely gotta automate some attack on that analog. And yeah, might as well automate some of that too. The brain is not 100% right now, but that's okay. Work with what we got. Times. Yeah, it's starting to sound a little nutty. Those chords coming through there. You know, and if it just sounds like garbage, one thing you can do is just push the pitch way up. And you end up more with textures than anything. Pull the pitch way down. That's a thing I often find myself doing. Just pitch thwacking, whatever you want to call it. Extreme pitching. It is fascinating too sometimes what certain VST instruments will provide when played at really low pitches. You know, obviously bass, but sometimes there's just, I know some of the reactor instruments like Prism, sometimes really odd tones and sounds come out when some of those presets are played really low. Cool. Alright, so I guess, yeah, I'm curious, like, this will sound like with audio pulled from the analog source. A little ominous. I definitely almost like the more experimental sound of this analog run super low, you know, low pitched. Go ahead and get like maybe a little limiter situation going on with this here. I am curious what it's going to sound like with performance way up. Cool. That's kind of nutty. Maybe a little too much reverb there. Dare I say, too much reverb. cool. Oh yeah, I can't just double click on an audio track. I hate it. I need dummy clips to be able to automate stuff. So what I'm gonna do then, let's do sends only. I'm gonna just move all these effects over to this MIDI track and use my little gate technique of sidechain audition audio siphoning from 3 analog effects. That's good enough for me. Cool. So let's see, let's call this voice mic. And I think, you know, one thing you can do at this point that's kind of interesting to note is we could put a delay on the audio coming from this vocal mic. We got 5 seconds here, so if I say something, then 5 seconds later we're gonna hear, yeah, it's, yeah, a little more. Cool. I'll play some, man, it sounds like some surly slugs. Maybe I will go ahead and remove this scale situation. Interesting. I'm definitely wanting to hear more from this analog, and I'm not really liking what's going on with it currently. Sometimes you just gotta fight with the sound for a little bit. Let's have a listen to it at minus 24. Obviously, you know what minus 48 sounds like? Minus 12? Oh yeah, chord trigger. That's what is causing the chords. I see. So I suppose in this case, yeah, maybe we'll just try to avoid that one somehow. I could be a lot more careful and, you know, try to learn which level on here was the part of the chord trigger. Kind of like, yeah, it looks like. Actually, let me pull in another arpeggiator and just study that one for a second. The chord trigger is, it's closer to the top. It's close to the random stuff. I do love the random ones. So we can always just have some that are really high up at the random zone. Okay, so no more chord trigger, even though that I didn't really notice before, so that I'm going to have to explore at a later time. That bass is really tickling my ears with the stereo. Definitely wouldn't want to cut a record with that bass. You'd have that needle jumping all over the place. Cool. Okay, so VO effects. VO effects in the house. Cool. Okay, so what was I doing that I wanted to animate. That's dramatic. A little too much drama. Thinking maybe like long. Oh, and you can see we're already hitting, you know, 52% of our CPU. Would help to be able to have 100% of this laptop's power, but 1% will just have to do for now. constraints, I tell you. Sometimes you just gotta have them, especially when you got a million plugins. Sometimes you just gotta, when you got a million plugins. Oh, no, he didn't. Yeah, I definitely do not want to hear my own voice. I do not watch any of these videos after I make them. I do not listen to my own voice after it's been recorded. I used to do radio, talk radio, you know, college radio type stuff. I don't know how I ended up not caring for the sound of my voice too much. I guess they say nobody likes the sound of their voice usually on playback. It always sounds odd and different than what we're used to hearing in our own heads. That's just all there is to it. Maybe by the time I'm done with this sketching series, if I ever finish, I'm at least going to do 20 of these. Maybe by the time I'm done with 20 of these, I'll be more comfortable with my voice on playback. Or maybe not. Maybe it doesn't matter. It's not the point of this. I think the point of this is just to do something and to demonstrate that just sometimes getting in there and making a mess like what I'm doing with this, haphazardly drawing this insane bunch of automation, is just the point, you know? Not thinking about it too much, not overthinking it. Cool. Try and let's go ahead and the on off on that and modulate it. I feel like I need to also modulate the pitch of this. Right now we're at -48, so I'm just going to try to bring it up. Right, have some sections +12. Some sections +24. Some sections +36. Okay, so you know, at this point I could hear potentially some kind of, you know, weird nutty electro beat. Honestly, I've never tried to make a beat with analog before. I'm typically going and starting with operator, so I'm just gonna go out on a limb, and this may be a total waste of time. No, it won't be a waste of time. There's no such thing as wasting time when you're sketching. It's all for good cause. Okay, we need to go down a step and get our butts in key. I think what we'll want to do then is that right? Oh, feels a little sine wave. Yeah, definitely. I know there's a way to craft a kick here. On the amp, maybe. I wonder what happens if we add in, say, the chord MIDI effect and give ourselves like funny. Yeah, I really need to spend more time. I've just decided more time with analog. So, I mean, okay, we'll get back to that. And let's try to split some keys so that we have ourselves a kick there, and then we'll have ourselves a nice little, let's go, what is this, C. We'll go ahead and make C our snare. Basic rhythm. Let's see. I don't even know if a snare is possible with analog. Oh, we have to. I mean, do like the way the noise on the analog sounds versus the operator. It seems much smoother. Yeah, this kick is just flat. Oh, I'm messing with the filter slope. And obviously, well, I'm curious if we can get... Yeah, there's our spatter rhythm. Go back and we play with these notes. This beat, it's definitely too repetitive for my taste. You know, obviously we could mix it up a little bit with some effects. Yeah, we just animate some of that. It's like we've ended up with some kind of background song for like a really sick math PSA or something like that. You learning math is cool. Heck, I'd want to learn math if, you know, the tutorial videos had sweet soundtracks. That's too fast, too. There's probably a way to add in some even... we say probably a way. I don't know. We can make this work. But I'm thinking we could add in another. Sounding super mathy right now. I don't think it really fits with the video, honestly. But, you know, it's a fun little excursion. I think if we really wanted to get stupid, you know, we could, let's see, add in some kind of MIDI note gate situation. Yeah. Map the speaker on off there, and also, let's see, map it here. Alright, maybe we'll do that again with all three. Go ahead and hit paste, put that in there. I think what I need to do is move that, map the hi-hat here, the snare here, and copy. Also try some swing on the, I mean, I feel like swing is just going to make this beat sound so much more cheesy. Am I doing this right? Yes. Okay, cool. Alright, well, let's see. And also, kick. It's almost more just like a bass line than a kick. Alright, I'm gonna see what, so if I just pull that off the grid there. So whenever, yeah, it hits these little low spots, it will not, if it just happens that there's a MIDI note happening right then, it won't let those through. So that creates a bit of a random on-off gate situation there. And trying to get behind this beat, it's not easy. Kind of actually reminds me of this. There's this one band called, it might just be one guy or two, I don't know. I haven't really read into the act called Pie Corner Audio, and they are all about this sort of lo-fi synthwave. You know, lots of mono, lots of hiss. If we really wanted to get, you know, lo-fi-ish, we could just sort of mono everything. Yeah, no, this hi-hat really took on a pew-pew effect. I think that's because we have this filter and there's an envelope here. Wow. Cheesy. You know, in some context, this kind of cheesy synthiness would probably work great, you know? I don't know. Hilarious. I'm just gonna play with an arpeggiator here. Funny. It's almost like the snare is immune to this arpeggiation. What do we have going on? The snare that makes it not spit a lot of notes. I don't know. Part of me just doesn't even feel like spending too much time to pursue it. Or a snappy snare. Yeah, the kick. Sometimes crafting synth-based percussion sounds can be just such a right pain in the ass. Obviously, you know, I should have just a set of presets that I could pull from here, but, you know, I like handcrafting them from scratch most of the time. Okay, I'll just pull that down and... I feel like I need to spend a lot more time with analog to learn really what, you know, the best methods and techniques of getting drum type sounds out of them are, and I'm sure there's okay, we'll go ahead and entertain that idea. Yeah, there's some hilarious stuff coming off of this guy right here, and I'm thinking I might have to, I think it's this grain delay. Yeah. So arcadey. This is a great arcade action track right here. I mean, an abstract arcade. Yeah, this thing's out of control. Funny. There is some ridiculous arcade noises coming out of here. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and turn off this on or offer. Yeah, and just keep it low. Just gonna keep it low. That is too funny. All right, so I think we need an intervention here. I think you know, melodies, getting good ones that don't sound ridiculously bad can be, you know, be a lot of, it's a love-hate thing for me for sure. Some days I feel like, you know, I don't even have the energy to pull those teeth. But, you know, again, we're just sketching here. We're not really, you know, we're not trying to... We're not trying to make the best song ever or anything. But I always do like to try to at least push forward, just doing something that sounds fascinating. Definitely nothing wrong with the pursuit of more interesting sounding music. There, now it sounds really lo-fi. That beat sounds like it's coming out of some busted up old speaker. Sometimes I really just, I don't know why, but I tend to go just insanely crazy with the EQ. Boosting sections that, you know, just... Cool. Alright, so... yeah, what's going on here with this vocal mic nonsense? Is it even... yeah, I feel like something's happening with that. But is it any good? Maybe, maybe not. All just ruined by these terrible beats. Yeah, honestly, sometimes beats are just, you know, just don't happen when you want them to. Yeah. So I'm just putting two resonators right next to each other. You can get some oh, not bad. I mean, yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised at, you know, how interesting the analog run through the resonator sounds. Maybe a little too much high end here, but some idiom junkie out there, you know, would say there's merit in this sketch. Sometimes when I'm just not feeling a track, I might just start, you know, doing really egregious things. Just run it through a bunch of effects. Like, well, wait a minute, you're losing the original sound. Well, yeah, I guess that's sort of the point. Helps my brain anyway. Because sometimes I just, you know, I need to get away from sound, and maybe I'll go back to this beat later, and it'll actually, things will click more. Who knows? I think I bet, bass here. Yeah, we got some real chirps coming through here. This is just a real unruly EQ situation. I really, kids, don't try this EQing at home. It's definitely probably need to pull some of the high end down. Yeah. Yeah, I just like this layer. I think I'm gonna automate those. I could just, I like nutty textures. I had a drum bus on this, especially with this boom. Just love this drum bus effect in Ableton 10. Chirps. Sounding like some classic ass IDM. Need, you know, some other accompanying melody layer probably, and then some kind of, you know, ridiculous high-end. Oh man, this is taking me back. I grew up on a lot of IDM. Yeah, probably had a phase where I was trying to make, you know, that ridiculously atypical idiom sounding type of music. We all did. We all did. Gotta get that lead in there, that ridiculous. I swear these chirps are haunting me. I'm gonna have nightmares about them. Like that. Chirp, go to hell. You know what this atypical basic bitch idiom track needs? Some kind of nonsense Boards of Canada. Yep. Where is that? Let's see. Monophonic for sure. Voices. Where do, oh yeah. Mono. So generic. Where's this envelope? And then maybe we could do a quarter, like a fifth. I'm even going down this road, but you know. You know, we definitely need to finesse a lot of these notes. I think when I quantized these notes a second ago, I lost some of the magic. so bad. But, you know, if you were wanting to make sort of like that nod to Boards of Canada or whatever, obviously we need to tighten up some of these notes. I'm a terrible keyboard player, and especially when it comes to playing the computer keyboard, which is what I've got right in front of me. Obviously, you know, to get the Boards of Canada thing, kind of got to tame this abstraction here. Make it happen more quantized. Let's turn this down just a little bit. Looks like maybe my vocals are getting covered over. Cheap tricks, my friends. Cheap tricks right here. This is a sad facsimile beat to Boards of Canada. You know, I definitely want to have more of like a or have that kind of hip-hop sample sound in there. There's probably some finagling we could do to definitely too much cutting out also, much as I love some random but obviously what we're hearing here with all these layers going on all at once, you know, this is, if we were to, you know, build it up in here, we'd want to have slowly things come and go, probably have a few extra layers that we would bring in and out along the way, or you know, have different sounds in the intro versus in the middle. Obviously the beat, you know, would kind of stay, especially if we were going to try to do like a dare I say Boards of Canada not rip off, let's just say study a study on a Boards of Canada kind of song. We'd have our beat just being really like doing the same sort of thing throughout the whole track. If I remember correctly, Boards of Canada, love Gio Gotti and Music Has the Right for Children. With their other releases, not so much. But yeah, they always have their beats kind of just consistently playing throughout the whole tracks, which I kind of liked, almost that ambient, droney aspect. Obviously we need to like get some automation on this here. Alright folks, well, just about done. I don't know if I can stomach much more of this kind of a rip-offy kind of sound, but it is fun to, like, you know, reminisce on the old days and hear some of those melodies and tones, and then try and, you know, just entertain them out into some facsimile, such as what we've got going on here. So that's the fun of sketching. I love about sketching. There should be no, you know, pressure or preset notions that this has got to be some particular thing by the time we're done. When I used to paint and draw all the time, honestly, sketching was such a free flow, free form kind of thing. It was so relaxing, and that's the way it should be. It should just be relaxing. Yeah, the beat's still a little too broken for my taste, and honestly, we could spend more time finessing some of these. But, you know, I kind of also like, yeah, we also, you know, I keep hearing so many little nuances and things that I still wanted to know how to make this. And somehow we managed to do all this, you know, we're pushing 70%, but then this laptop is throttled down to 1% of its CPU abilities. So honestly, you know, it's quite impressive what you can do with very little. I'll tell you what we do need here. We definitely need some kind of oh yeah, just sounded like the cheesiest of lounge house. No thanks. But you know, it's fun to muck about. Yeah, I was thinking of, you know, Words of Canada always had that wobble, that warble. Obviously, we want that kind of on the whole track. If we really wanted to go for that sort of lo-fi, the old tape effect. Yeah, something that I had created. We'll see if I can handle it. Somehow the CPU is still working. Yeah. Barely, yeah, no hiss there. I think we're not gonna. Oof, yeah, you can hear the Alright, we'll save the old tape effect for another time. So anyway, yeah, hope you enjoy this. I'll go ahead and include this project in with all the others so you can dissect it however you see fit. And until next time.